Welcome everybody. Today we are making a tier list for all the characters of Marvel Realm of Champions version 2.0. So this is a fully updated tier list, and every time there's a new champion added or there's a new weapon, or I feel like there needs to be some big changes to how things are done, then I'll be making a new video. So make sure you're subscribed so that you can catch up with all the information. And I'm going to be taking in opinions from other players who've also been playing the game, or what their thoughts are. But still, even then, it's still just my opinion. But anyway, without further ado, let's get on with the tier list. I have all the different weapons here. We have our Iron Legionnaire, or Iron Man. We have Storm, Apocalypse version. We have Web Warrior, or Spider-Man. Super Soldier, or Captain America, Hulk, Black Panther, and Sorcerer Supreme. Each weapon completely changes the character's playstyle, so I'm going to be doing more of a weapon tier list and a character tier list, but effectively it's the same thing. We're going to start off with Iron Legionnaire. He has his lasers, his drones, and his proton cannon, I think that's what it's called. So his proton cannon is actually a brand new weapon for version 2.0, and I have not actually had a chance to get them and play with them yet. So for the new weapons, it's not going to be so accurate. But for now, just from what I've seen, it seems kind of good, but I don't want to compare it to anything. So I'm going to stick it in kind of useful, but bearing in mind this is with no knowledge on how it works or anything. For Iron Legionnaire, the common ability throughout all his weapons is his special one, which is his flight, which is very useful for putting distance between you and your enemies, or racing to heal pots, or to chase after enemies that are running away. So yeah, it's very, very useful. But yeah, it's alright, it's alright. So we're coming to the lasers. So it's got the flight. I think lasers, when you're new and you get the game, you're like, oh, the lasers are so cool. SB3 is so good, where he shoots out that massive laser beam, do tons of damage, but really you rely so much on the special 3, there's nothing really else you can do. It's not very good. So it's going in the meta tier. It's going in the meta tier. Alright. And the third weapon of Iron Legionnaire is his drones. I'm a big fan of the drones. I think they're a lot of fun to play, and they're actually very useful. It's got the slow off of the special 2, and the special 3 can do some decent damage as well as the heavy. I'm putting the drones, we're going to put it in decent. We're going to put it in decent. Next up is Storm. We're going to start off with the Lightning Staff. Lightning Staff is an amazing damage weapon. Using the Electrify off the special 1 to do extra electricity or shock damage with the special 2 and special 3. I'm not really a big fan of the special 3. Like, it can do a ton of damage and it can reach people from further away, but I find myself way too vulnerable when using it. But the damage off of it is great, love it. It's got to go in, it's got to go in God. It's going in God. Okay, so this is Storm's support weapon. It's great for freezing. If you use special 1 and then special 2 combined, you can completely freeze the opponent, stopping them from doing anything. Special 3 is also great. At first, I struggled to get into the lightning rod, and I actually prefer the blizzard wand, and its usefulness is great. I think this tier list is definitely going to need changing, and I think I'm kind of just going to see it as I go. We'll put it in decent. We'll put it in decent for now. And as I said, it's all about playstyle, and if one weapon works for you, for example, if you're not very good with the lightning rod, you're better with the blizzard wand would be much more of a better weapon for you to use than the lightning rod. But in this case, I am ranking it low overall. Hurricane Flail. Okay, so this is another new weapon in version 2.0 that I have not used. However, I've probably seen more of it than the photon cannon. It seems very, very useful with the push and the pull and the kind of kind of pulling people around with the wind. I think it seems pretty cool. So because I can't really compare it, I'm going to put it in kind of useful again. But as the game progresses, as my account progresses, I'll come back and I'll update this tier list, change it around. Also, feel free, please comment below, tell me that I'm wrong, have a go at me, shout at me, tell me that I'm a complete loser and I have no idea what I'm talking about, or tell me that you completely agree with me. please let me know what you would say down in the comments, and then if there's a popular opinion, I can adjust things, especially with these new weapons, especially with the new weapons. But yeah, any weapon, shout at me and tell me I'm wrong. These two, I'm going to have to move down here because they're not actually in the game yet. His first weapon, we have I don't know what they're called. I don't know what they're called. These weapons, they're the first ones you get. They're the ones that don't look like guns. The evade of the special 1 and the heavy is really, really cool. And then on this one, when you use special 2, you move back. So it's great to dodge something that's coming at you. You can move back, as well as rooting the opponent, which is so useful. And then the special 3 does a decent amount of damage, as well as the stun. You can interrupt things with it, and it's great. So yeah, this is a really, really cool bit of gear. Overall, I know some people who absolutely love Web Warrior, but overall, in comparison, I am going to put it in decent. Next one are Gatlings. So this is the only other one, other than the new weapons, I'm not too sure about. I've had a quick look, I've heard opinions. They seem like they have some good uses, but I don't compare, especially compared to these ones and some of the other weapons, I think they just don't really compare, so it's going in the meta here. So they're based off of the heavy, I believe, where the special 3 kind of boosts your damage. It has some of the damage, but it's not like amazing, and it doesn't have the utility that these have, so it's going in the meta here. Next up, we have Sorcerer Supreme. This was the beta player's favourite character at the time. Before, what made Storm so great was the damage and the heal as well, like for the longer fights especially. It's why in version 2.0 they got nerfed. So both of them got nerfed, the book more heavily. The heal was reduced by half, and the damage on both of them, but especially the book, was reduced. So, however, I have heard opinions on it, and that actually it's not like the end of the world for Sorcerer. Sorcerer is still a brilliant champion. Do they still deserve their god tier? Their god tier? Yeah. I'm going to say no. I'm going to put them in decent. As I said, feel free to shout at me in the comments, and both of them, they're both very, very useful. And next up, we have Black Panther. Black Panther is a champion I did enjoy quite a lot. I used to really enjoy Black Panther, but then I got into the higher tiers. Difficult to play. Difficult to play. Spider-Man is as well, actually. I forgot to mention that. It's an assassin playstyle where you have to run in, get the kill, run out again. And you can't take too much damage because you're so squishy, you just die. Special 1 is a shield, so it gives you a shield, and then after a little bit of time, the shield explodes, dealing damage to enemies around it, which is probably your primary way of attacking your enemies. So you want to use special 1, which means you're shielded, dash in, attack your enemies, deal damage, and dash out again, because you do have a double dash, like Spider-Man. So the claws, the main damage thing, apart from the special 1, probably come from the bleed. The special 2 is great for jumping forward, and special 3 for locking enemies in, but the damage off of it is good. It's not amazing, it's good. But the bleed damage is where it probably is quite decent. It does well. That's as much as I can say. This does not go with them, it also doesn't go with them. If I try to move these up, then you've got way too many of the decent here, and I don't really know. So I'm thinking maybe if we move, we're gonna move that up. But then there's still a lot if we move these up. We're doing that. We're doing that. There we go. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Subscribe for more confusing videos where I can't make up my mind. Fine. Fine. We're putting them there. We are putting them there. That is the end of it. I'm going to put these with these then, and I'm going to kind of base that off of the fact that they're both quite difficult to play. So with this one, damage comes from special 2 with the extra bleed at the end of the special 2 and the shield as I've mentioned before. Special 3 is great for catching enemies who are running away, stunning them and kind of making them stay in your shield or whatever before it explodes. But yeah, as I said, difficult champion to play. The Incredible Hulk. I think this is actually more of a matter of opinion. People say, I prefer the hammer, I prefer the gauntlets. Down to your style of play. I have my opinion, and that's where I'm going to put them in. I'm putting them in 2 different tiers, and that's down to my opinion. But people probably would disagree with this. There are people who think both. The hammer is great. It's better for damage. The hammer is really good for damage. Like the special 3, the damage off of it, just the general damage in general, special 2, the spin. It's really great for dishing out damage, getting those kills. The gauntlets, while maybe they don't reach the same quite amount of damage, and if you saw my latest video, I did a collab with Rich the Man, go check it out. I was getting more like 27%, so just under, I was getting like just under a third, a little bit under a third of the damage, so I wasn't getting like the highest damage in the world, but some of the clutch plays were just great because you get so many good stuns off of the special attacks with the gauntlets. So overall as a champion, Hulk is great to play, he's good fun, he's nice and easy. All you have to do really is use special 1 to go enraged and get your shield, and then nobody can really do much damage to you, run in, attack a few people, and then once your enrage ends, get out of there and kind of do that. It's kind of it. It's quite easy to do it through hammer spins. So it's really easy to play, which makes him great. His damage is great, and then on the gauntlets, the stuns are amazing too. So I'm going to put the hammer in decent tier because the hammer is great with the damage. It's really, really good. And I'm sorry if I'm insulting the hammer players, but gauntlets are going in God tier. I love them too much. I love the gauntlets. Yeah, amazing. Absolutely amazing. All right. Next up, last but not least, the newest champion, not the newest weapons, but the newest champions to the game, Super Soldier, Captain America. Now you may have noticed, for those of you who played the game, I'm assuming you have done, this is not his normal shield skin. I do not have the image of the vintage shield, but this is the same shield, same abilities, just a different skin of it. I quite like it. Personally, I quite like it. I enjoyed playing it when I first started playing Cap. Special 1 is both the same, it's kind of a leap forward, I guess, good for chasing after enemies. Special 2 is good for a bit of stun, a bit of damage, and then the special 3 is good for increasing damage, but overall, I think it's fun to play. I think the shield is a good fun to play, but taking it into higher tiers, probably not so much, it's not that good. So it's pretty meh, and as I said, everything has their uses. Nothing is really that bad. So I am going to put this in the meh tier. So I don't dislike it. However, his arc shield is my go-to. It's my go-to weapon. His special 1 is the same as the special 1 for this guy. He jumps forward. Special 2 is great, does a decent amount of damage, it stuns them if they're close enough. If they're not quite close enough, then it slows them. The special 3 is great, it is amazing, it knocks all the opponents down in the area, and anyone who stays in the area after a little bit of time takes quite a bit of damage. So it's great fun, and combining it with a special 2, or maybe jumping in with a special 1, using special 3, trying to knock down all the enemies at one go if you can, and then use special 2, just stun them, and then they can't get out of the circle by the time the thing blows up, doing tons of damage, and if they're on low health, then you could probably get a triple kill. That's rare, I'm not saying you're going to do it, but it's potential because it's just great. I love it. I think it works really, really well. Oh, and I completely forgot to mention, on both weapons you have a block. So your heavy attack is actually a block. At the end of the block, you then do a hit. It's kind of a game of baiting who can get people over to your team first, kind of. It's all about movement and getting people over and when to use your special attacks, that kind of thing. That's literally the tip for playing the game. Biggest tips. Cap's blocking is, I find it really useful. I don't know if anyone else does this. It's like kind of champions, people was kind of like baiting a special attack. You can kind of pull people towards you, but I cannot put it in God tier, unfortunately. It's not an exceptional weapon. It's just something, it's my playstyle that I personally prefer to use, and I've gotten decent at. This is not definite, this will change. Let me move these guys over here. This will not change. Sorry, this will no, this is it set. I think there are a lot of potential god tiers over here, especially with Sorcerer Supreme. I'm actually kind of waiting feedback on that. So let me know in the comments, what do you think about these? Also, of course, I don't know about these. These could be god tiers, kind of useful, meh. I really don't know, so they're staying decent for now. I'm quite happy with these placements and that placement. I feel like there's a slight difference between some of these ones, like between these two compared to these two. However, I think that's about right. So I think really it's kind of, and this one as well, I'm a little unsure of. Where would you put things? Do you disagree? Would you move things? Let me know what you think. And if there's a general consensus, then maybe I can change things for the next video. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe and like. I'm going to be posting a lot more Realm of Champions because I love this game. It's so much fun. If you're here just for Realm of Champions content, then there's a playlist. All my Realm of Champions videos go in that playlist if you want to have a browse. Links in the description for Discord, Twitter, Instagram, and Reddit. Make sure you go click on those. I'll see you on the next one. Technobras out.